you have to have snaps with each other to build that trust and that connection between me and my guys. And I think that's something we've kind of built off of since the first day going into practice 9 tomorrow. So that's something that we've all gotten better at.
You had a prior relationship with Phil. Just what's that like between you guys? Why is he somebody you want to go play for?
I think our relationship is awesome. He's a really good coach. I think he's top offensive guy in college football and NFL, and that's a big reason why I came is to play under him, being a really successful offense. And like you said, I knew him prior. At high school when he was at Ole Miss, I was close to committing to him there. So it's kind of crazy how it comes full circle.
How close were you to going to Ole Miss, and what kind of major decision?
That was like 8 years ago, but 7 years ago. But it was. Ole Miss was kind of far from home a little bit. They had some stuff going on there that ultimately I didn't think it was in my best interest to step into, which I'm glad I didn't. They had some stuff go down right after. But I don't regret anything about my journey, my time at OU and SMU. I don't have any regrets, and I've enjoyed my journey.
Have you and Phil kept in touch at all in the ensuing years, or had y'all not talked for a while up until you were in the
No, I didn't talk to him while I was at OU SMU. I think that's against the rules.
You could have not socially. You could have.
Yeah. No, I haven't kept up with him through the 5 years that I was at OU and SMU.
Having competed against Coach Fickell's teams in the past, how would you describe, what the characteristics of his teams are, and do you see that kind of rubbing off here?
Of course, highly successful. They fly around. They finish with an attitude. They do. So the 3 safety stuff is kind of the new fad thing to do for defenses, but they have a wrinkle in theirs that allows them to be, I think, more successful than other three safety teams. And, him and Coach Tressel and the rest of those guys have been very successful defensively. They led the nation in a lot of things, so I expect nothing less from them.
Where do you want to take this program as a into the new era?
Championship status. That's it. Win championships.
How would you describe Phil Longo as quarterbacks coach?
I think he's the perfect balance of easygoing and having a sense of urgency. I think there's a healthy balance between the two of them. In the meeting room, it's pretty laid back, cracking jokes, watching film. But when we're talking business, it's business. When we get out in the field, we get to work. We don't mess around, and we're here to get better. So there's a healthy balance between the two that allows these quarterbacks to be so successful.
Your injuries you went through last season, broken ribs, was it, or what was your situation? Just how much of a bother was that for you, and what you learned out of the experience?
Yeah, I broke a couple of ribs TCU week, which I think was week 4 or 3. Then I broke one week 10 or 11 versus Memphis, and I had a concussion against Cincinnati. So the rib stuff is, it is what it is. Guys play with that stuff all the time. Not really a factor. But yeah, having the concussion, having to miss a game, I wasn't too fired up about, obviously, but it is what it is. But I feel healthy right now. I feel perfectly good to go and excited to get out there.
Just to follow up, when a guy says championship level, are you talking league championships or what?
I firmly believe Coach Fick is going to win a national championship.
What's it been like building chemistry, with all the new receivers that you're throwing to?
And it's been fun. Like I was saying earlier, it takes repetition. It doesn't just come, overnight. Over the winter, the hours that we spent here throwing, getting to know each other, on the football level. And then through spring practice, I think, through 8 practices, you can see kind of where we started day 1 and now, where we are now, as far as having continuity together. And I think it's something that we're definitely growing in the right direction.
Playing against Cincinnati the last couple of years, playing against a Fickell coach team, what did that kind of do for your respect for him, and just how did that have any impact on your decision as well?
He's been a top dog in that league for a couple years. So yeah, I have the utmost respect for what he's done. You know, defensively, offensively, special teams, everything, because they did it all well. They took a non-Power 5 team to the playoff and played Alabama close. So yeah, I think he's one of the best coaches in college football. So that's for sure something to wait in on coming here.
This offense is going to be different, something different than what's been traditionally done. Just what do you feel like the ceiling for the group and what you guys can do in the fall eventually?
Under Coach Longo's lead, I don't think there is a ceiling for this offense. Our offensive staff, along with the guys that are here, have really adapted like they've been doing it for years now. Watching practice, you wouldn't think that they haven't ran an up-tempo air raid offense. So I'm really proud of how they have adapted from the traditional offense they've been running. So yeah, I don't think there's a ceiling for us.
What is that you like from what you've seen? You said it doesn't look like they're about to do a new offense. Where do you see it? Where do you see that in the examples?
Just execution. I mean, execution. Playing fast is not something that they were used to, and watching practice and how highly our offensive line, receivers, running backs are executing, you can't tell that they haven't been in this kind of offense for very long.
When you're learning offense, I know they learn some offenses differently. What are some of the keys for you? What are you diving into something?
Yeah, learning offenses are it's just time learning from the guy who created it. I think that's the key. It's just putting in the hours to understand, his verbiage, how he wants it done, what he calls things. Like Coach Riley and the other Coach Lincoln Riley, Coach Garrett Riley, and Coach Lashley, all those guys. They all run air raid, and a lot of stuff is overlap as far as plays and different schemes and stuff. A little bit. It's just called differently, signal differently, communicate differently. So that's something I just have to, sit in with Coach Long and watch what he says and how he calls it. Put that in the brain.
Numbers on average right here, what you say?
Let's see. I don't know, a lot.
Tanner, what's it mean to you that your teammates are seeing you as a leader now? You talked about coming in and respecting what was already here, but the fact that they see you in that light now after 3 short months.
It feels great. I'm proud of that. I'm proud that these guys would call me a leader since I haven't been here long. But I think they understand my work ethic and how much this game is culture and winning matters to me. I think that they see that and understand that. It's something that I'm going to hold true to my heart.
I imagine it's got to be challenging to establish yourself as a leader when you're also a newcomer. Probably a little more common to stay in the portal, but how do you go about doing that, kind of becoming a leader when you're still adapting to new surroundings yourself?
So coming in, you can't. I'm not used to the culture in January. Now I am now, but in January I came in and I didn't know a whole lot about the guys, the locker room, the culture. So I think that's a good time for me to understand. Let the guys show me a little bit, show me how things are done. How traditions are done and everything. And once I understand that and I gain their respect and trust because of my work ethic and how much winning means to me, that then I can start to lead and I can, lead those guys to success. But at first, I think it's about understanding, growing relationships and trust, growing respect, and then going from there.
You mentioned those leaders and the culture in this location. What's different about this culture versus other places you've been and the culture they've had versus this one?
I think the guys here are, I'm not going to say the guys weren't hungry where I was, because that's not true, but the guys here are very hungry to win. This Wisconsin football has always been a winning culture, and these guys are dying to hold that standard upright. And so that's just kind of something I've noticed ever since being here, that these guys are just completely bought into what these coaches want us to do, and they're willing to do whatever they can to uphold the standard of winning.
With Braden Locke, I know that he's been getting like all of this up to you guys. Just how is he starting to, what you're seeing as a veteran quarterback, seeing him digest this offense and it's translating to making plays on the field?
He's done a great job. He's prepared really well. He's really smart. He understands, where the ball needs to go, and he understands how, the scheme is being run. And whenever you understand that at a high level, it makes it a lot easier to execute, which he's done a great job of.
Tanner, Coach Longo asked you guys as quarterbacks to do something a little bit different than a lot of quarterback coaches with that straight drop back.
Oh, yeah.
How have you adjusted to that, and what do you see like the pros and cons of that so far?
I've liked it. Like you said, it's a little bit different, but way back in the day, that's how they
That's
dropped.
the 80s, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think just having a quick drop, being a little flatter with the shoulders, it allows you to kind of see the field a little bit better and not close off your backside. So I think that has a lot of benefits to doing that. I've liked it.
You mentioned the defense. Just Trust is throwing a lot of different looks at you guys. Just what's that? How challenging is that as a quarterback? And what's that like?
It's fun going against him. I think he's one of the top defensive guys. I really do. And so if we can execute at a high level against these guys, then I think we'll be able to execute against anybody. And so a big thing that Coach Fickle always says is iron sharpens iron, which is a real buzzword kind of thing. But really, whenever you think about it, whenever we're going up against the best defensive minds maybe like in the country, it helps us. Like there's no downside of that. So I think it's really great for us to go against someone so good every day.
You mentioned that NFL feedback you got a couple months ago. Just where are you hoping to take another step this year?
Show them that I can do what I did at SMU. I can do that, and the best country in the nation. I mean, the best conference in the nation.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.